Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. We're going to be continuing on with Alchemortis development. Surprise, surprise there, right? We're doing Alchemortis development again, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. But anyway, Alchemortis is available for wishlisting, so if you're interested in Dark Fantasy Roguelite Auto Battlers, give it a shot, give it a wishlist. The main interesting hook about this game is that you can make your own synergies using alchemy to mix and match card abilities together. So if that sounds cool, definitely give it a wish list. You can also support the game on Patreon. If you subscribe at this top tier for at least 1 month, I'm going to send you an Alchemortis Steam key when the game launches, so you don't have to buy it again. And your name will be listed in the in-game Alchemortis credits. So there's that for you if you want to support that way. And you can also support me by purchasing one of my Udemy courses. These will teach you how to build games in the Godot engine. This one is a multiplayer course, online cooperative multiplayer course, but I've got other courses as well. So check those out if you're interested, and you can also join the Discord. That is linked below. And I think that's it. So hello, Nathan. Welcome. Good to see you. Good morning. I'm doing good. Welcome, Bolter. I have some days off next week and want to think about my own little game idea without scope explosion. Yeah. A couple of days is definitely enough time to make a small, polished game, so let me know how it goes. Anyway. Now my cats are being annoying. Oh, great. Okay. So I don't really know what to work on right now. I do have to finish up this unlock menu. So this thing here, it's kind of lacking. Well, it's lacking a lot of stuff, but it's lacking like polish, art polish here. So maybe I'll do that. We'll see what we can do with respect to just getting everything all looking good, game ready. So maybe we'll just spend some time right now drawing this up. Okay. So yeah, I'm just going to draw vines going down the side and across the bottom as well. And then I've got to highlight all this stuff. Add shading, I should say, not just highlight, but add shading to all of it. And I think I want to get rid of this inner panel here. There we go. Hide the inner panel. Hide this item. Okay. So the vines here. This is gonna be a lot of work, but it's okay. Oh, I want to put this back as well. Let me just make sure that works. Okay. Well, here we go. Here we go. I'm just going to try to draw something that kind of wraps around a little bit. And we'll see how that goes. We will see how that goes. Just make it thicker to start. Okay. And then there will be like other vines going in like around and behind it. Something like this. Doesn't need to be perfect right now. I can clean this up later. But just getting the general flow of the vines going, I think is the most important thing to do right now. We could do stuff like this as well. Okay. That might be a little bit too far out, but we will see. We will see. And then this one, we'll bring this here. And then kind of just do something back here. I don't know. And then for wrapping around these pillars here, let's see. Do something. Well, that needs to be in front, actually. So what I would do is probably take the border here and just cut this part out. So it looks like it's going in front, and then we'll just do something like that. Do something like that. I'm gonna make it look like the vine is going in front of it. Or actually, no, wait. We don't want it to go in front on that part. We want it to go behind on that part. I'm on the wrong layer. This to go behind. What in the heck? Okay. We want to erase this, erase that. Erase this as well. Yeah, something like that. I mean, that will need to be made a little bit nicer as well. We could even do something like this and pull this in. There we go. So that kind of looks now like that's going around the border. And we can put this back as well. Yeah, something like that. I guess this part is kind of weird. But, oh well, we'll leave it. That could be like a thorn or something. And then for the vines here, we would just break that up right there. Okay, and then this is going over top. It's probably better if I just draw the vine outline like this. Yeah, so something like that. So now we've got like a vine coming out and going around and then coming back around the back there. So I don't know if it needs to be... I don't know if it needs to be super detailed beyond that. I'm gonna like thicken and thin out some parts of this as well. But I'll be adding like little branches and stuff in here, like little thorns and whatnot. So stuff like this. And that should help fill in a lot of those gaps there. And I'm gonna do the same up here as well. I think these top vines need some help. They don't have a whole lot of like 3D going on. So I may modify some of these vines to come like down and around and stuff, but I think for now this is okay. This approach. Now I want to probably handle this case here. What is going on here? There's this. I mean, this all looks a little bit weird here, so maybe I'll get rid of this for now. Let's get rid of that, and then we can bring it around like this, maybe. I don't know if that's going to get in the way of the content in the middle, though. That's the only problem. That's the only problem. So maybe I'll just take a lighter approach here and just do something like this. Maybe. Actually, what I may do is we'll keep this like that. Going across. That looks decent, I suppose. That looks decent. And then we're going to pull this down here. Oops. Yeah, I mean, it looks all right. Hello, Kent. Welcome. Thank you. Nice art. Thank you, thank you. Hello, Yito. What happened with the Fist of Arthur? It's finished. It's in the game now. The Fist of Arthur. The Fist of Arthur is in the game. Hello, Rin. Welcome back. Good to see you again. So let's see how this looks without that background noise there. Honestly, I don't even know if I need this screenshot background anymore. I'll probably just take this, fill that in. That's a little bit easier to look at. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. Are these, let's see, vines there. Yeah, we'll do something like that, I suppose. Maybe I'll just connect these. Or maybe not. Let's see. If I take this, let's move this one over a little bit. Yeah, that's probably fine. This one here, I don't know about this one. Let's do something different for this one. I think that's nicer. What we can actually do, let me think about this. This might actually be able to go like up here. Connect it up to this one. And then we do something like this. Let's see. Yeah, that's probably all right. So I like how it has some like 3D feel to it because it wraps around the border here. But not going too crazy because I still need space inside of this area, obviously. Now I'll need to do the same thing with the top vines here. So I might need to redo those to some extent. Where can we find more info on your project? There's a Steam link in the About section below, I think. I actually don't know. Let me go to my own stream and see. Yeah, let me see. Do all my links work? Okay, good. Yeah, all my links work. So in the description below, you could go to the Steam page. And the Steam page will do a decent job of explaining the game. I mean, it should. It's the About page for the game. But I am going to be redoing that again soon as well. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get away with doing these down here, but we'll see. Okay. We will fix up as much of this stuff as possible. Okay. There's that, and then what do we want to do down here? Probably just something like this. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll get rid of this part and redo this part here. I don't want to do too much on the interior part because that's going to be a problem. That's where the content needs to go. So I don't want to just fill that up. Dang. Amateur e-celeb, yeah. Hello, Ignacio. Always watching some minutes of this to relax. Awesome. Welcome back. Good to see you. What theme do I use? For what specifically? Welcome back, Dev Ghost, by the way. Yeah, I don't like this in here. That's not working. Maybe I'll just connect this to this one and call it good. Oh wait, no, I can't do that. What am I doing? What am I doing? Can't do that. This bottom part is going to be a problem. Okay. We're getting there. For the palette, it's off of low spec. It's called The Witching Hour. The background music makes you seem like you're drawing menacingly. We could switch back to the other background music. It doesn't need to be this way forever. I still don't like this. I'm going to redraw this whole part. That seems better to me, I guess. Maybe that's better, I don't know. Okay, I think that's looking all right. And then what I want to do is I want to just increase the distance between some of these things. Make the vines look a little bit thicker. Increasing the outlines between things like that. So just increasing the darkness between them can make the vines look thicker than they are, which is nice. Nice little trick. I may do the same stuff like up here as well. Yeah, something like that. Just add a little bit of extra space. Okay, so all that looks okay. What I should probably do before I do anything else is I should export this and see how this looks with the vines going into the content area, just to make sure that those are not going to be obstructing things too much. I mean, this inner panel might be obstructed to some extent, but that may also be fixable. But now I have to figure out how to actually do this. Export, I think this is just called outer panel. Outer panel, export, okay. So what do we got going on in here? Yeah, so this control is no longer the right size. This is 478 by 336. Okay. And it looks like, let's see. I might need to break up this sprite a little bit more. But let's just run this and see what it looks like. No, this is better, evil streamer, yeah. A question that's been in my mind for a long time is what scale, what size do I have to make my A-sprite file, because it seems a bit overwhelming. Yeah, so what I would do is figure out a resolution that you want to use first. And what that means is like decide if you want to use 640 by 360. And the way that you could, or, you know, one of the other smaller resolutions for your game window. And one of the ways you could find out what you want to do is, like, I don't know, go and find a font that you might like that you want to use, and then write some text at the font size. So like this font is 9 pixels. So draw some font on the screen at 9 pixels, and then try out the different resolutions and see, okay, well, if my game's going to have a lot of text, then I need to have room for text, right? Or maybe I'm not going to have so much text, and so I could have a smaller resolution. So decide how your text looks proportional on screen. Take that as a factor, and then just draw a character. It doesn't matter. Like, don't spend a whole lot of time on it, but just like draw a rough player sprite in roughly the size that you are thinking about doing, and then put that in your screen too, at the different resolutions, and see like, okay, what player size looks good. It's mostly a feel thing. There's no there's no science behind it. Like, just draw the stuff that you want to draw, get some like prototype art in, see how it looks on the screen size that you are thinking about choosing. And once everything is feeling good to you proportionally, then you can work backwards from that and say, okay, like what would be a proper tile size relative to this player size, right? That's how I would approach it. And then the other thing that helps too is that if you can get a screenshot of your game at the resolution that you're targeting, you can bring that into Sprite too, and then you can draw onto that onto that screenshot, and that can help you figure out like what sizes everything needs to be, like proportionally. So it's not a science. I can't answer like what scale or what size you have to make your Sprite file, because it's gonna be dependent on like what your in-game resolution is, what the size of your other characters are. You know, everything's kind of related to each other, so you kind of have to work on it in a piecemeal fashion. Like when I was doing this game, I started off with like, okay, I'm just gonna draw a card roughly the size of what I want a card to be. And then I say, okay, well, that card looks good at this size, at this screen resolution, so now I can work backwards and figure out that, oh, well, the tile sizes here, my grid sizes need to be 18 by 18. So it's not like, yeah, it's not like a perfect thing. Are we getting into the roguelite stuff? Yeah, the unlock menu here. Hello, Zach and friends. Good morning. Hello, Wooius. Good morning, Ninja Link. Good to see you. Welcome, everybody. What is the main factor which motivates you to complete the project you're working on? You see most people leave the project they're working on due to motivation. Yeah, motivation is not going to get you through a project. I actually said this yesterday, but if you're relying on motivation, you're probably not going to succeed, because the motivation that comes and goes. What is the difference between the people who can finish their projects and the people who don't finish their projects is that the people who finish their projects are disciplined enough to get through the parts that suck, because there are going to be parts that suck. So you kind of need to reframe your expectations. You're not going to be motivated the whole time that you're working on your game. There are going to be parts that are difficult. There are going to be parts that take a lot of effort and aren't super fun to work on. And you just have to get through that. I wish there was a silver bullet approach that sounded nicer than that, but as far as I could tell, that's how it goes. But I wouldn't say motivation isn't important, but it's just that it comes and goes. So like there are parts where I'm working on Alchemortis and I'm having a ton of fun and all I want to do is work on the game. And then there are parts where it's like, you know, like the map rework that I just did. I was like, oh, I put so much time into this map and it's not fulfilling my game, my desired game design, my desired experience for the player. And so now I got to go into this old code base and like redo the map generation. And then I have all of these new things, new bugs, new issues, new refactors that came up that needed to be done. And that wasn't super fun. It wasn't fun at all. But it had to be done because the old way I was doing the map wasn't working. So I wouldn't say motivation isn't important. Like if you're not having fun working on your game at all, then there's something bigger wrong. But there are going to be parts like, you know, I think the most fun part of game development is when you go to the prototype, because you've got like a brand new idea and you're like throwing all the things on the screen and like you're working on these new systems that you've never built before, so it's really interesting. But then there are things like, you know, you have to do the UI UX design, and that's not super fun. And you know, at some point, like for this game, I have to draw so many art assets, and I'm sure that's going to get old after a while, you know? So that's just how it goes. I think that's true of anything, though. I think that's true of any like creative project that you're going to do, is that it's not going to be fun every minute all the way through to the end. That's my experience anyway, though. Maybe that's not a universal experience. Okay, I think I can just maybe redo the top vines now, and then we'll probably be good to start filling in some detail. I think, so you can see that these inner, whatchamacallit, are overlaying the vines. I think if I just push that back in the rendering order, it will look okay. Yeah. Also, that scroll container is not proper. The scroll container is too large. This margin container, this needs to come up, I think. Yeah. So let's do this. Margin bottom. Is that right? I think that's right. Yeah. So now those are being... Oh, that looks actually kind of good with the vines over top. So if I just take this inner border here and I make sure that goes behind all of this outer decoration, I think it's going to look good. Yeah, that should be fine. What game engine? This is Godot. Hello, Arnaved. Welcome. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. How does being a solo dev factor into your relationship with motivation? I think motivation would be less of a problem if there's other people who rely on you. Yeah, I mean, there are certainly, like, you know, doing this stream every day gets me through. Like, to be honest with you, I didn't want to work on this unlock menu because it's a lot of work. But hopping on the stream, and I need something to do during the stream, right? So, you know, that certainly helps me get through the parts that I don't want to get through. If I wasn't streaming at all this morning and I had this work to do, I probably would have just gone off and like refactored a system that I want to refactor instead. Like I want to refactor my ability system to a certain extent to make it a more explicit ability tree. But the problem is that doesn't need to be done because it's like it's working the way that it is right now. So that would have probably just been a waste of time, especially when I've got outstanding work that actually needs to be done. So hopping on the stream and doing this instead is certainly helpful, yeah. Those menus look really nice, thank you. Yeah, we're not even done with it yet, but I appreciate it. I wish I could stream while working, but company code can't be shared. Feel it would help motivation a lot. Yeah, I can understand why companies don't do that, but at the same time, like, you know, there are all kinds of people like me who are not just doing game development, they're doing their own projects or whatever and streaming that. And I think that could be really, really fun, really useful. So I'm sure there are some companies out there that could do that, that could encourage their employees to just like stream their work. But you know, I guess there's an increased risk that you'll like leak secrets or something, and not like trade secrets, but like API keys and stuff if you're doing it professionally. There's like, when I'm doing game dev here, there's like no risk that I'm going to leak any sensitive information because this is just it's just an application that runs on the user's PC. There's no internet connectivity, there's no API keys, there's no service integrations or anything. So, you know, I guess I could see why people don't do that in a professional workplace setting. But think about how valuable that would be. Imagine if there was a developer at a AAA studio, maybe a technical artist at a AAA studio, and they're just showing you like, hey, yeah, I'm rigging up this 8-legged octopus creature. Imagine how much you could learn from that. But of course they won't show that because, you know, it's all under NDA and that's like super secret. These big game dev companies treat everything so secretly, like, oh, we can't reveal anything ever until the release date. And then you got indie devs who are just like, yeah, here's my engine and here's the literal code that drives the player, you know. From time to time in dealing with sensitive data, so risky, yeah. My local DB regularly has sensitive data, yeah. Yeah, that is a risk for sure. That would be invaluable, yeah. Maybe these bigger game companies will learn from indie devs. There are so many indie devs that just like, they just do this. They just show off all the technical details and like the process of building the game, and then they still sell copies. It doesn't ruin their marketing efforts or anything. I was about to strap a GoPro to my hard hat to show off how electrical automation works in the field. But then I realized that customers don't like that. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like, companies are so concerned about like showing work in progress things, which I kind of understand. Like, there's a certain amount of people who you show them a work in progress thing of this thing that you're building, and then they go, that sucks, and then they lose all interest in it. And it's like, it's almost as if they don't have an ability to like understand that the work in progress is like working towards a final vision. They just evaluate the work in progress as it is, and they go, nope, not interested anymore. Or they get turned off of what you're ultimately building. So that is a risk too. Affiliate involvement and why indie dev games have been so popular in recent years honestly gives great insight talking directly with other devs and potential players. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I'm far more interested in this game than I would have been if I never watched the streams. That's good, yeah. I mean, I hope that's the case. I hope that's the case, but it's free entertainment for you otherwise if you have no interest in buying the game or supporting me otherwise. You can enjoy the free entertainment and whatever knowledge I happen to pull out of my rear end. Anyway, I guess I should stop procrastinating. Let's fix these top vines here. You'll notice that these top vines are really not, they kind of don't match the style of these vines. So I don't think I need to redo them necessarily. I think I just need to make them follow that style of like wrapping around and everything. So they're kind of intertwined with each other, but I think there's an opportunity here to just make this a little bit better. So maybe I'll start over here. Let's take this one out. Take this one out. And then if I make it come up here and then up, and we'll make this join up here. Gotta get rid of this. Okay. Probably going to need to make this thicker. Going to need to make that a little bit thicker probably. Yeah, I mean, it looks a little bit awkward. We could potentially make this go behind that and then out in front here. You know, something like that is working. Let's just kind of thin this up here a little bit. Thin this up here. Up here. So that looks a little bit better already. Probably gonna want... I kind of want to, this tendril here, this vine here doesn't look like it's really going anywhere. So I wonder if it goes behind this and then pops out like up, like down here somewhere. So if I do this and I go up now, I just don't like how that ends up looking there. Take this, go up. And then maybe it can come out here somewhere and go over top of this one. Over top and then join up here. Ah. Okay, and then we'll do something like this, something like that. Okay. We're getting there. Oops. I don't know if I like this shape down here though, so maybe, you know what I could do is I could take this, maybe compress it a little bit. Oops. Yeah, maybe. Aw, son of a biscuit. I forgot that I can't... Ah, shoot. Okay, no worries. We'll fix it. Just get rid of all that stuff there. I hope I don't have to trace... Oh, wait. I'm going to try to be lazy here. Okay, I don't think the laziness worked. Dang it. Oh man, do I have to retrace all of this? I guess I can kind of just like guess and check here. If I copy this, flip that. I think that's right. Let me see. Yeah, I got it. Okay. That works. So there's some shape issues with these vines as well. I'm gonna have to clean that up, but that's okay. I actually think maybe it would be good if this comes up here. Like this. Can't really see that. Maybe I'll do red so I could see it easier. There we go. So we got some vines kind of like weaving in and out of each other. I still don't really like this though. What I may do is, so this one's coming down. Could I do something like, let's see. We bring the vine back up this way and then bring it down that way. Ooh, that might work. And then if I take this, oh, shoot. Doing this mirroring is kind of difficult. Okay, I think I got the shape roughly down here. Okay, but the thing I can do now is I can just delete that and kind of bring this up now. Make this a little bit smoother of a curve. Now this part looks a little bit too flat, so maybe I can do something about that. Let's see. Maybe I'll just do that instead. Vines. If I do that instead and then I make this go more of like a straight line over here. I think that feels more believable. The problem is now this is just looking, these are looking too similar, which I guess is okay, but I don't know. It also probably helps aspiring game developers or people just interested in coding as a hobby. It's interesting to view how others solve problems. Yeah, for sure. I have a question about your boards. You use them for inventory, selling, alchemy, and unlocks. Are they entirely decoupled from the battle logic? Or could every board theoretically do battle? Yeah, every board could theoretically do battle. The only thing that differentiates a board that is used in combat versus a board that is not is basically just me saying this board is the player board for combat in the code. So it's, I mean, there are certain flags that are set, like when I create the enemy board that is flagged as like the opponent board. So I know that, you know, if I need to get the enemy board based on the player board, I can do that. And that's tricky because the enemy boards, they come in and out, right? They get destroyed and recreated all the time. So I don't have a constant reference to an enemy board. So I need to, when I create the enemy board, I need to register it as like, this is the enemy board. So I'm certainly storing some information like specifically about specific boards, but I could go into the code and with a one-line change, I could make the player inventory the combat board instead of the player combat board. So all the boards, they're identical to each other. The only thing that determines which one gets used in combat is like a simple flag, basically. While this isn't my sort of game, I'll wishlist this to hopefully assist in getting seen. I'm going to head out and have a nice stream, brother. Thank you, Arnavetta. Appreciate that. That's very much appreciated. Got to head out for my kids' competition. Best of luck. Have a great one. All right, good luck to your kids. I hope they crush their competition. And thanks for joining. Every single time I make an asset, I have to do this again. Yeah. Yep. It does go like that. Well, I think the vines are okay. I don't know. I don't really like this too much. But it's probably okay. It's probably okay. I don't really like this nameplate thing either. I'm probably going to redo that, but... Alright, let's get the, let's get these vines in place now. So, the thing that they're missing is thorns, obviously. So I'm just going to add some thorns here and there. So I'm just going to add some thorns to the vines. Actually, before I go too far, I'm going to commit this. Just in case I destroy something and I need to revert. Look at that, it's already looking way better with thorns on it. If I was really dedicated, I would not make this symmetrical. I would do thorns, like unique thorns. But I'm not trying to take 5 years to make this, you know? Okay. I also want to be careful not to bring thorns too far out this way either. Dang it, come on, draw the thorn. Okay. That's probably good. Let me fix this border here. Okay, that looks better to me. I could increase the shadows here as well. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. Just make these a little bit thicker there. Yeah, that looks good. I'm gonna have to clean up all these outlines and stuff too. For the vines specifically. Hello, Sharima. Do you mind? Do you mind? Come here. You want to see everybody? You want to say hi? Come here. What? Come here. Hi. Do you have something to say? Do you have something to say? Say it. Say it. No? Oh. What is a sprite wizard in Godot? I don't know what you're referring to. I don't know. Hello, Jeremy. Liking how the unlock screen is coming along. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I still have more vines to add. Oops. Okay. Trying to get the vines done in like a quick mouse sweep to save time, but then I don't do it right sometimes. Gee, dang it. That looks fine. Oh, I can't be going too far up on this side. Into the interior here, because that's gonna mess things up. So we'll just try to keep it reasonable here. Oops. Okay. Almost done. Almost done with the thorns. Now I gotta highlight everything after this. Oh gosh. I gotta do shading for all the vines and stuff. I might do like some kind of like a little decoration here. That'll look good. I could do maybe something like that. Yeah, that'll work. All right, where am I missing vines? This part, or thorns, I mean. This part could use a little bit of thornage. There we go. Okay, and the other thing I want to do is I want to be consistent with these outlines. So I just want to thicken up anywhere where the vines are crossing over the border. Like that. I think that's good. Here as well. We're just going to push this thicker. I think that creates a good amount of contrast, which is nice. Here as well. Where else? Up here that needs to be done. Here. Okay. Alrighty. I think that's looking pretty good. There are some areas that I want to improve a little bit, but you know, like this looks a little bit weird here, so maybe I'll try to like smooth that out a little bit. But that can be done later. I'm also realizing that this needs to be thickened as well. Is that too much? Maybe I'll just leave it like that. Well, I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's better. Maybe thicken this over here as well. And then here. That's probably all right. This here, do I want to do that? I think this is looking weird. I'm gonna get rid of this. Yeah, that's probably better. Hold on, my cat needs help. Okay. Seems to allow you to auto-import animations done in Aseprite into Godot directly. Oh, that's what the Aseprite wizard is? I don't use any of those kinds of like workflow plugins. I'm also not doing frame-by-frame animation, so... Okay. So there's definitely room for improvement in some places. Like, I think this kind of like vine boundary around the skull here looks a lot better than this one. But it's alright. It's fine. Alright, we added thorns to the vines. Now we have to not only do the highlighting for the vines, but I need to do that for the borders as well. I don't think it'll be that difficult, but it's just going to be time consuming. Just going to be time consuming, but we'll give it a shot. So let me commit this. Okay. Oh, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break, and when I come back, we will continue on. We're going to do the highlighting now and the shading for the vines. Hopefully that looks good, but if not, oh well. So give me 3 minutes. I'll be right back, and we'll continue on. All right, let's do some shading. Let's do some shading. Yeah. Okay. All right. I hope I'll be able to get away with just doing like a light amount of shading here. But we'll see. We will see. And I'll also just go in and fix up any sort of like proportion problems I find as I do this. So like here, for example, I think this can be cleaned up a little bit. Like, I think that's probably already looking better. Yeah, maybe we'll do that here. And we can do this. Yeah, that's probably all right. That's probably all right. Oh, this is gonna take forever. It's okay, not to worry. Not to worry. We will get it done. Oops. Okay, all right. So the shading doesn't need to be perfect either. But I think you could tell it's already looking better with that shading in place. This is where most of my time recently has went on my project in Sprite. Just making assets, and instead of coming back, I end up putting more time into them to finalize them now. Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, I personally get more enjoyment working on my game if I have like semi-final art assets in place. There's something about that that just makes it so much more fun. I think it's because you can see the vision more clearly. And of course, like game juice and visual polish, they actually do make a difference in the fun that you have with a game. Like they're actually very, very important factors to the fun, at least in my opinion. That doesn't look right. I don't know what I'm going to do here. Maybe I can do something fancy like... Oh yeah, look at that. We could put that in there. And then do something like this. Yeah, that looks better. Better already. Actually, I might just shift this over a little bit. Actually. Yeah, that's fine. Something like that. The border is night and day from what I joined earlier. Awesome. Yeah, glad you like it. There's something so much more meticulous about pixel art that gives it its spark. Yeah. Nobody likes working with squares and capsules, right? Adding art always feels like the biggest jump in progress to me, like the game's actually gaining traction. Yeah, yeah. I've never, like, you know, there's common advice like, oh, just like white box it first, but I've never had fun doing that. It's hard for me to like see how the game is going to turn out if I'm just white boxing it. You know? So I like to get at least something in the game. Like when I'm doing game jam or when I'm doing any game really, what I usually do is I actually just start drawing a mock-up of the art first. Like I almost decide on the art style first. And then I go from there. What the heck? I'm on the vines layer, right? Okay, we're getting there. I still have to do all the way down. Oh gosh. And to some extent, I think the assets you make made should alter how you make your game. Your game structure seems very art-oriented despite being a software engineer. Yeah, well, this was not supposed to be an art-heavy game, but that's out the window now. Did you watch any tutorial or something to draw like that? Hello, Godot editor. Yeah, when I was learning pixel art, I mean, I'm still learning pixel art, but when I first started learning it, what I did is I went onto YouTube, I looked up a bunch of pixel art tutorials. One of the types of videos that helped me a lot was like pixel art critique videos too. There's a guy called Pixel Pete who would take viewer art submissions and he would critique those on a YouTube video. And it was really useful to get somebody who's like a professional pixel artist. It was really useful to get their critique of somebody else's work because you pick up all kinds of tricks like, you know, oh, this looks weird because these pixels need to be moved over here, right? Or these colors are not contrasting enough. So if you fix the contrast, look at how much better it looks, right? You know, things like, here's how you add detail without making things look too muddy, right? Without things losing their definition. So that's kind of how I did it. And of course, just like the, you know, the standard like pixel art tutorials that you'd find. And it doesn't have to be like a generic pixel art tutorial. Like I would watch things like how to draw pixel art characters, right? And even though I don't draw a whole lot of characters, just seeing the thought process that goes into approaching drawing something like a character, it gives you a bunch of insights that are applicable to all the different kinds of things you'd want to draw. So yeah, that's just basically how I learned. Just watching a bunch of tutorials and just picking up what I could from that. This part is going to be hard because these vines are going down now. So I'm kind of drawing this with the light coming from the top, which was easy when it's going to be easy when I'm, you know, on the top or on the bottom. But when light is coming from the top on something that's vertical like this, that's going to be a little bit trickier. Like, I don't know what to do with this section here. I mean, I guess I could do... something like that. Yeah, that works. Oh yeah, we're getting there. How many years have you been using Aseprite? Sorry, my English isn't very good. Just a couple years, basically. I mean, I did use Aseprite a bunch for my game Gunforged. So I guess it's maybe more like 4-ish years or something. I didn't really make a serious attempt at learning pixel art until I was doing art for my game Gunforged. That was when I first started actually trying to do things correctly. Trying to do things my own. On my own, I should say. I'm going to appreciate this border a lot now because I'm watching you draw pixel by pixel, yeah. And well, I'm glad. I hope everyone appreciates it. If nothing else, it will make good... It will make good Steam screenshots. Right? Good Steam screenshots are important. This feels a little bit too weird to me up here. That's probably better. Yeah, this still feels... That's actually probably... Oops. That's a little bit better, I think. Yeah, I don't know what to do with this giant, big part there. Maybe that's okay. Well, that part's a little bit weird, but that's all right. It will deal with that now for a little bit. We'll just deal with that for a little bit. Yeah, this hole, maybe this just needs to be like this. Oh yeah, that looks better. Okay. All right. We're getting there. Do you work alone or you work with a team or in a company? No, I'm a solo dev. Solo dev. I'm hiring my friend for the music, but that's about it. What's the game about? It seems like it's a cave or something like that. It's a dark fantasy roguelite auto battler where you use alchemy to create your own builds. So you could check out the Steam page if you want to learn more about the game. I would appreciate that for sure. When I visit the Steam page, I usually watch the trailer for a bit and skim through the screenshots. I think for a game like this, making the video seem exciting might be challenging, although the current video is pretty good. Yeah, so the current video obviously is going to have to change because I'm going to add more to the game. And the things that I've added to the game should, like, there should be more excitement, like you said. But yeah, this game, I think this game is going to be very, very hard to market with screenshots alone because you can't really tell what's going on in the game from the screenshots. So the trailer is definitely going to have to be like the most important part for sure. And I will be remaking that trailer probably. I mean, I didn't make that trailer. I hired somebody to do that trailer. So I'll be either remaking the trailer myself or somebody else will do it. But yeah, the video is going to be really important. I think the main things that this game is going to succeed from is getting auto battler players to purchase the game based off of the screenshot, or not the screenshots, the trailer, and then trying to make the game good enough that people will tell their friends, hey, you got to try this game. You know what I mean? It's a tall order. It's a tall order, but we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. One thing at a time. Okay, alrighty. I missed this part up here. Okay, we're almost done. We are almost done. Now we need to do this part here. The bottom. Oh, gosh. Thing about these thicker parts is I almost need to bring the highlights out further. Make them thicker. Okay, that's good enough for now. Step 1, make good games. Step 2, success. Yeah. I mean, I think it really does come down to that. Like, obviously marketing is important, but the most important thing is you want to make a good game that people want to... You want to make a game that people want to share, that people want to make like YouTube Let's Plays of, that people want to tell their friends about. This feels a little bit weird to me, this thickness here. Oh, I guess that's coming from over here. Maybe we need to do this. Yeah, these inner parts here are a little bit weird. Maybe I just don't highlight this one at all. That might look weird too, though. Whatever, we'll just deal with that. That's fine. It does not need to be absolutely perfect. Okay, all right. We're almost done. Goodness gracious. How well does the software quality matter for software sales? Same deal as game or a tad different? Well, I think software is a little bit different. Obviously the quality matters, but the main way you make money in software is by filling a need in the market, right? And so if you are the only software product that is filling a need for a business or whatever, then, you know, you can kind of get away with having a worse, I mean, quality, it depends on what quality, right? Obviously it needs to work. If your software is unreliable, that's not going to be good, but it doesn't need to be like this hyper polished thing necessarily. I mean, you could just think about like Salesforce or whatever. That whole system is a stinking pile of garbage and it's a multi-billion-dollar company, right? Or like Windows 11, right? So it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different in those cases because it's more about filling a need in the market rather than making it super flashy or looking good or whatever. Some of these pieces still feel a little bit flat here. Oh, that helped. Okay. All right. Do you find that streaming on YouTube is better? What do you use to stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time? YouTube is better in the sense that I get more viewers. Like right now I have 65 YouTube viewers, whereas I've got 4 people on Twitch. And I think that's largely just because that's where my existing YouTube audience is. But to stream to both platforms, there's a plugin called like multi-stream or something, or multiple output. And you can configure different output settings and different stream targets, and that just works, I guess. I guess it's just doing a parallel stream from my desktop here. So I'm not using like, there are restreaming services where you send your stream to one place and then it sends that stream out to multiple other services at the same time, but you have to pay for those, of course. And there's also a lot of lag with that too. Or there's increased latency rather. But if you've got a good enough PC, you know, I'm not having any problems at all streaming to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. I also have gigabit internet, so that helps. It's basically not eating into my upload budget at all with the bitrate settings. I don't really like this up here. Does that look better if I do something like that? I don't even know where I'm looking. Where am I looking? Oh, here. Yeah, that's probably fine, actually. That looks good. I'm just trying to find places that still look a little bit flat so I can correct that. I think it looks okay, largely. Largely speaking. Well, I can tweak this, I can fix this up if I need to, but Yeah, I think that looks decent, but we're not done with it yet because I still have more highlighting to do. We're going to go through and we're going to pepper in, you know, these kinds of just red red highlights in here just to make it pop a little bit more. So we're going to have to do that throughout the whole art as well, but oh, dang it. This is I have your Godot course on Udemy and found it very good technically and in general. Thank you. I appreciate that. 108 bits. Something about the bottom left vine bothers me. It has too much highlight. Bottom left, this one. Does that look better? How's that? How did you get so good at pixel art? Are tutorials good or just copying other art in your own style? Well, yeah, tutorials are good, but obviously you just need to practice a lot, you know. What you're not seeing right now is all the times that I struggled to draw basic stuff. So it's definitely, it's a lot of effort. You have to practice and practice and practice, but yeah, you should definitely be looking at tutorials as well, because those will give you insights into how to approach the pixel art, which you can then apply when you go to practice, right? And then something as basic too is like just find a game that has pixel art that you like, and like just study it, right? Like make a concerted effort to notice like how the colors are being used and how the lighting is being done and how various shapes are being represented, right? If you make a dedicated effort to actually like pay attention to what good pixel artists are doing and how they're drawing their art, and looking up tutorials and practicing regularly, I think you'll find that you actually improve at pixel art quite a bit. So yeah, definitely give that a shot. I wonder if I might add another vine here. I just got done highlighting and now I'm adding more vines. You know, that's how it goes, I guess. I think that looks much better though. So I'm gonna go ahead and highlight this up as well. Why am I having such a hard time drawing this? This thorn all of a sudden. That works. That works. Okay. I think that looks decent. Probably some more stuff to do with this. I mean, there are some more stuff to do, but we can commit this right here. Ah, feels so good. You'd think that's better than, oh, the bottom left, fine, yeah. How long it takes to make a course like the Survivor's course you made? I imagine to get to that level should be multiple of the course hours. Well, yeah, I mean, the video content in the course alone is like, what, 20 hours or something? But you have to consider the fact that I have to record, I have to get all the stuff set up for recording, I have to record, then I have to go in and edit the videos. I watch back every minute of the course lessons that I make. I don't just record and then upload. I go back and I edit, I watch everything, I make sure that the explanations are reasonably clear. I cut out any parts where I make mistakes and like went back, because sometimes I'll be recording the course and I'll do something wrong, and then I'll, in the same recording, I'll just like step back and then restart from the point where I messed up. Then I have to go in and editing and cut that part out and make sure that that's not in the final video. And then there were cases where, you know, I record a lesson, I realize that my explanation wasn't that clear, so I go and re-record the entire lesson. So all of that stuff is like, yeah, I mean, we're talking maybe somewhere in the range of like 50 to 100 hours of total work to get the course done. Somewhere like that. I know that's a big range, but like my C# course, I think it's 24 hours of content or something. And so that's 24 hours to record, 24 hours to watch it back, and then plus all of the time to edit and re-record and fix mistakes and create the Udemy course page and all that stuff. Create the trailer, the assets for it. So yeah, it takes a lot of effort for sure. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick 3-minute break again, and when I come back, we'll finish up the highlighting here by just peppering in these red highlights, and then we'll see what happens. So I'll be right back in just 3 minutes, and we'll continue on. Okay, I'm back. Oh, okay, who is ready to do some more hand pixel by pixel placement? Oh gosh. So we'll just jump around here, do some stuff. Place some of this all over the place. Doesn't need to be everywhere, so this is going to be hopefully relatively quick. Excuse me. All right, we're getting there. So those little red spots, they just add a little bit of extra emphasis. It's not a whole lot, but it definitely makes a difference. I don't know about that one. Maybe I'll just put that there. Can be a little bit hard to decide where to put them though, but that's all right. Do this. Here's that. Boom, boom, boom. I should be using the preview window, I guess. Just gotta do it. Not the most exciting thing in the world, but just gotta do it. This part is a little bit weird. I suppose that's fine. I might break my symmetry just a little bit here. I don't like that. Let's do this instead. Yeah, that works. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just... Okay, I think we mostly hit everywhere that needs to be hit, except for up here. So we'll just go ahead and quickly throw some of those on. Well, yeah, that works. And then this. Is this background music from Alchemortis soundtrack? It is not, no, it's just random video game music from a pack, an audio pack that I purchased. Stuff, you know, the kind of music that you could use in your own games if you wanted to. Which means there's no copyright on it, which means that it's safe for YouTube. Be kind of cool if this was the Alchemortis music though, but I like the Alchemortis music that my friend did. Yeah, this whole section here is looking weird to me. Get rid of this. Get rid of that. Just trying to fix up these little things that I'm finding here. There we go. I think that looks better. Okay. Welcome to the better streaming site. Thank you, Bad Cop. Thank you. And welcome to you as well. Welcome to the stream. Welcome back to the stream, I guess, if you've been on the YouTube ones before. Okay, is there anywhere that I missed? All right, how's it looking? What are we thinking? Good? What do you recommend as a solo dev gets sound for music for their game? Yeah, so like I mentioned, you could purchase like sound effect packs. Like the Sonus GDC audio bundle has like sound effects and music tracks. The Humble bundle just recently had a big collection of like 60,000 sound effects and music tracks. So if you can purchase an audio pack that has tracks in it, you can use that for music. You can also find public domain music or CC0 music on other sites. There's places like Free Music Archive, which is a good place to find those kinds of tracks. So yeah, those are relatively cheap options or free options to get music. But if you have the budget, you can, and I would recommend this, if you want like original soundtracks, you can hire a musician, composer for your game. And it's not typically that expensive. It depends on the person you hire. But I've paid anywhere between, $100 and $250 per track for my games. So it really depends. But those are the options that I use anyway. And of course, the last option is learn how to do music yourself. But that is easier said than done for sure. I'm just cleaning up some of these. Some of these things. This looks relatively flat over here. I'm going to fix this. Yeah. Well, what do you guys think? Looks okay or nah? I think it looks okay. There are some spots in here that I'm like, I don't know about that. But other than that, seems okay to me. I'm going to redo this whole title section up here, so maybe I shouldn't have put that much effort into that. But anyway. So there we go. Now to figure out what this looks like in game. This is the big... This is the big one here, I think. So export this outer panel. We're going to do selected layers export. Let's see what it looks like in game. Is everything still aligned properly? This control has changed again. 341, 486. Okay. I ran the wrong scene. Oops. So obviously there's still a lot of work to do on this, but... Oops. Let's see. So it looks like I may need to... What happened here? Did I do the wrong metrics? 486 by 341. I don't know how that got messed up, but I think we're good now. This border, I don't know what happened to this border down here. Anyway. Yeah, something went wrong here. I'll have to fix that. But anyway, there's what it looks like in game. Well, not in game, but running as a standalone scene. Do we like it? I think it looks fine. I think it looks good. I think once the vines have proper outlines around them and once this inner part is properly inset in the middle, I think it'll look just fine. Now I still have to do some work on the highlighting for these borders here, as well as like these interior parts. These are solid colors right now, so that's going to need to change as well. But yeah, I think it's good. Gosh, so much effort. I'm gonna redo this title bar. I still don't know how I want to do that, but figure it out. Oh, I'm realizing now too that I didn't quite get the highlighting done here. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I think that's good. I think it's looking all right. So that's going to be it for the stream today. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for being here. That took the entire stream time and I'm not even done with this screen. Oh, Lord. It's all right. It'll get done eventually. But thank you again, everyone, for watching. Thank you for being here. If you're interested, you can wishlist Alchemortis on Steam. It's a dark fantasy roguelite auto battler where you can use alchemy to mix and match your cards and create your own builds. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely give it a wishlist. I would appreciate that. And yeah, I hope you all have a great weekend. Have a great rest of your day. I will not be streaming again today, so I will see you back here at Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Okay, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.